A seagull and a seal, an unlikely pair found. A moment of peace as day fades into night. The setting sun paints the waves with golden light. The seagull graceful in the salty breeze alights beside the seal with quiet ease.
So today is a working day in the life, meaning, so I'm primarily a stay-at-home mom, and that is what fills my days, most of my days. But I also run a small-scale kombucha company, and today is a working day. And so I spent the morning getting the kids ready. I got my oldest to school and then dropped the youngest two off at my grandparents' house. So they're all set there. And then I was going to, because I wanted to just get a spring start to the day, because we actually woke up a little bit late, I was gonna just go run to the coffee shop and get like a bagel sandwich and a London Fog, because they're so good there, and it was just gonna be faster and easier. But I realized I have been spending a lot of money lately, just on like piddly, I don't know, like going out to grab coffee and stuff. And I was like, you know what, you can just make stuff at home. So that's what I did this morning. So I actually have a pretty banging breakfast here. And then we are going to head out to the kitchen, and I'm gonna recap probably when I get out to the kitchen, just kind of what's going on out there, and catch you guys up on the last few weeks, because it's been a while since I've vlogged. And then yeah, do some work out there. And then I have quite a bit of like back end admin to do, so I might head to a coffee shop and get that done. And then if there's still time, because my kids get watched until about 4 o'clock, I might actually do some sewing. I have some sewing projects that I am working on for Christmas gifts. So we'll just see what we get up to today. Okay, out to the kitchen we go. So I've got drink check. I've got my homemade London Fog that I've just like, not intentionally, but I haven't really been drinking coffee lately. Or if I do, it's in the afternoon and not in the morning. And I just started drinking London Fogs, which is basically just like an Earl Grey tea latte. Like, I'd never had Earl Grey tea before, but it was so like bright and yummy, and just like gives you the cozy feeling of coffee without actually drinking coffee. So I've been drinking a ton of those, and I've also been adding like bovine gelatin into the like milk froth that I do. So there's some added, you know, nutritional benefits there, which is great. So that, and then I've got a honkin' big giant salt lemon water. And actually, if I remember correctly, I think the last vlog that I did, I was talking about how much I loved element packets, and my husband and I had recently found like the canned element drinks, and I was talking about how much we loved them. And then I swear it was like later that day, I had a horrific vertigo episode, and I've never in my life had vertigo before, but like it was to the point where like I like couldn't watch my kids. Like I was scared that if I was taking care of them, I was gonna like collapse, because I like couldn't walk straight, and it was like throwing up. It was like so awful. I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I must be really dehydrated. Let me have another element, like let's have an element packet to help with this. And I take one sip, and my body is like, no, like this is not what you need. And I didn't really think much of it. I just like took the sip, and I was like, oh, that, like, I don't really want to finish that. And then I was like, maybe there's more to this, like, than just like, maybe I need to reevaluate what's going on here. So I didn't drink any of them for a couple of days, and things like got significantly better, and I wasn't having vertigo anymore. And then I was like, so after a couple of days, I was like, well, let's test this theory and see if that really was what it was. And I had like half of one of those canned drinks, and sure enough, I started having dizzy spells again. So and it's not, I'm sure it's like no fault of element. Like, it just must not agree with my body. Or maybe I was drinking too much of it. Who knows? Whatever. But anyway, that was a short story made long. I'm not drinking element packets anymore, but I still want to drink salt water, so I just make my own. I just put salt in water and then lemon, and I no longer have vertigo. Praise. Okay, so anyway, back to work related stuff now. December, and we recently completed our biggest event of the season. So it was the first time that we have ever participated in this particular winter market before. But I've been to it as a customer, and I know a lot of like my vendor friends in the farmers market, circle, arena, whatever, have done this market before, and they said that it is so busy. There's like record sales, and we also heard similar things from the event manager that was putting on this market. So I was in contact with her, and she said people are typically selling out within the first few hours. So like really, be stocked to get ready for a very busy weekend, because it was a 2-day market, a Saturday and a Sunday. And so we had heard from, multiple different perspectives that this was supposed to be just a banging market, lucrative market. And so on a typical Saturday morning, Saturday mornings are when we do our usual farmers market, where we have a very established client base, customer base, and we'll usually go through 55 gallons of kombucha in 4 hours on a Saturday morning. Like, that is average for us. And so we're like, okay, let's brew 100 gallons, maybe more. Markets take a little bit to warm up sometimes, and there are, busy portions of it and slower portions of it. But it's kind of like halfway through Saturday. I've got like 3 people working at my booth with me, and we're like, I don't feel as overwhelmed as I thought we might. And everyone's like, yeah, like it's not crazy. And I'm like looking at sales, and they're nothing like outrageous. In fact, they're like pretty low. Long story short, the market ended up being a total bust. Like, we had so much product still, like so much product left over. And so we ended up talking to the event manager, and she was like, yeah, attendance was like half of what it's been in previous years. She'd come to find out there were like 3 other markets going on in the area at conflicting times. So that possibly drew people away. I also think that it seemed like people weren't really spending as readily as we have seen them in the past. Long story short, we have so much product left over, and we will be able to sell it. We have accounts that can take it, and we'll use it at our Thursday evening markets. And so it will get used. I don't have any worries about that, but it's just like, the expectations were very, very different than the final result on that market. Such is life. Like 5 minutes from the kitchen now. And when we get there, I am going to brew, I don't know, probably like maybe just 30 gallons, maybe 40, just to have a little bit of a reserve stock for some accounts that I think are going to be ordering soon. Yeah, I want to just have product ready and available for them. So you can tell this is a really nice starter. Number one, from the way that it smells. When I took the tea towel off of it, it had a really sharp, tangy, but like pleasant still, like somewhat sweet smell that just kind of smacks you in the nose. And then as we were kind of disrupting the starter, it also bubbles. I can see and hear, number one. It's usually the sound of it that gives it away, that it's like really, really nice starter. Let's see, look at all those bubbles forming. Oh, just couldn't be more beautiful. I will say, so typically when I'm out here, it's me and another person, and we're just like kind of down to brass tacks. Like we're at the point now where like our time is limited, and so any hour that we're out here, we really have to make it count. And our production is like a decent size. Like anytime we're brewing, it's usually like between 100 and 150 gallons at a time. And so yeah, it feels like it gets still fun, but it really does feel like work. And so today I'm just doing these like piddly 5 or like 25 gallons here. And it's just like, it kind of brings me back to like when I first started. Peaceful and fun. Not that it's not still fun, but it just feels like more of a hobby and there's less pressure on it. So yeah, just kind of, I'm having fun today. Just waiting for the tea to steep, but kind of to expound upon what I was just talking about it feeling like more peaceful and more like less pressure while I'm brewing today. I feel like that's something that maybe not many people consider when they're starting a business. Is like, I mean, the idea of like, hey, I am good at this hobby, whatever, and I like it enough, and how fun would it be to make a business out of it? Actually, before I go any further, let me preface this by saying, like, what I'm about to say is definitely not a reason to like not pursue starting a business for something, but it's just a factor that I think a lot of small business owners probably struggle with. It's like, just from a bird's eye view, it's like, hey, I like this, I'm good at it, why don't I make some money at it? But when something that I've found is when you when it becomes an established business and there's expectations from other people then like put on you, obviously the pressure goes up, right? Like you have to remain consistent in what you're providing, and it goes from like fun hobby to job that you rely on and that other people rely on you for, like a service to provide. And that does take a little bit of the fun, creative joy away from it. But like, how blessed am I to be able to turn a fun hobby into work? Like, I have absolutely nothing to complain about, but just some food for thought. Okay, just wrapped up at the kitchen, and I'm checking in the time that the coffee shop is open, and it's open until 4, which is around the time that I have to pick the kids up anyway, and it's in the same town as where they are. So I'm going to kind of reverse engineer my plans, and I actually have, my grandma gifted me a sweatsuit from Aritzia for my birthday, which just was so nice, but I have to drop it off at my mom's because she's going to the Mall of America tomorrow to exchange for a different size. So anyway, I have to run over to my mom's and drop this sweatsuit off, and then run home, probably refill water and grab the AirPods, and then we'll be on our way to Ember and Bean. Okay, and so earlier I know I was talking about how the winter market this last weekend, like, it didn't go as well as we had hoped. However, it is worth noting that even if a market does not go the way that you're hopeful that it will, there is always so much value in just like showing up. We ended up making like 2 different connections of people who are interested in having our like self-service tap station set up at their locations, which is like huge and such an invaluable connection. So I am off to the coffee shop. That's what I'm gonna do. That's kind of like the back end admin stuff. I have to reach out to them and figure out, you know, logistics and just touch base with them. And then probably do some social media stuff too, which is honestly, I'm not very good at social media. It's my least favorite part of this whole shebang. Also, this has been on my mind lately. So I'm definitely the type of person who just like goes for something and figures out how to do it along the way. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's not. Probably depends on the situation, whatever. But that was kind of my mentality when starting this business. I've obviously learned a lot over the past 4 years. Like, I have a very solid base knowledge of what I'm doing, but I'm kind of at the point where I feel like I want to do some continuing education. So I want to find a book, like a Kombucha Brewer's Guide. I know that there are some out there, to just kind of do my own continuing ed, learn from brewers who are far more established and have a wealth of knowledge to share, and just kind of expand my skill set and my knowledge base a little bit more too. So I'm also going to look for a book. Holy cow. Okay, so I just finished up at the coffee shop. It was very productive, but also a little cold. I was sitting by the door and it was busy, so it kept opening. I'm freezing now. Anyway, got a lot of work done. Did not have time to go home and sew, which I always overcommit what I think I can accomplish in a day, but better to do that than undercommit, I guess. But what I did do was set up a meeting with a local establishment that I have been hoping to set up a tap station at. So I'm meeting with them on Friday, which I'm very, very excited about. I hope it goes well and that it would be a mutually beneficial, relationship. So fingers crossed that one goes well, and hopefully we can have a tap station in River Falls. Anyway, with that, I am gonna go pick up my kids. My day is pretty much done. I'm just gonna go home and become mom again. But thank you for following along today. I hope it was fun or educational or whatever, just a nice mindless thing for you to watch. I love vlogs like these, so maybe it is that for you too. But yeah, let me know if there's any specific content that you like to see. I'd be probably more than happy to film it and get some ideas. So thank you so much. Have the best day wherever you are. We'll see you soon.